There's a woman somewhere right now. Maybe she looks a lot like you. She wakes up tired. She gives and gives. She shows up for everyone else. But when she looks in the mirror, she barely recognizes herself anymore. And she wonders, where did I go? If you've ever felt like you've lost your spark, your light, your presence, your sense of you, this message is for you. Here's what I've come to understand about women. You are not struggling because you're weak. You're struggling because you've been strong for so long. You've been carrying invisible weights. You've been solving problems that aren't yours to solve. You've been keeping the peace while your own peace slowly disappeared. And somewhere along the way, you forgot something important. You forgot that you're the queen of your own life, not in an arrogant way, not in a loud, demanding way, but in a quiet, powerful, undeniable way. See, being a queen isn't about wearing a crown or being treated like royalty by others. It's about how you treat yourself. It's about how you move through your days. It's about the small, invisible habits that no one sees, but everyone feels. Because here's the truth. Your energy speaks before you do. Your presence walks into a room before your body does. And the way you carry yourself, the way you think, the way you speak, the way you honor your own needs, that's what activates your inner queen. This matters because you are not just living for today. You're shaping your tomorrow. You're modeling something for the people who look up to you. You're deciding right now what kind of woman you will become in the next chapter of your life. And I believe you deserve a beautiful next chapter. So today, I want to share with you 7 feminine habits. These aren't complicated. They don't require money or permission from anyone. They're simple shifts in how you live your daily life. But when you practice them consistently, something magical happens. You start to feel different. You start to move differently. People start to treat you differently, not because you demanded it, but because your energy shifted. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what these 7 habits are. And more importantly, you'll understand why each one works. You'll walk away with real, practical things you can start doing today, not tomorrow, not next month, today. Because the woman you're becoming is already inside you. She just needs you to make room for her. Let's begin. Habit number 1, the habit of beginning your day before the world does. Let me start with why this matters so deeply. When you wake up and immediately check your phone, scroll through messages, respond to demands, you've already given your day away. You've handed your peace over to other people before you even had a chance to find it yourself. And this is how so many women live. Reactive, rushed, running from the moment their feet touch the floor. But a queen understands something different. She knows that the first hour of her day sets the tone for everything that follows. She knows that before she can give to others, she must first fill her own cup, not out of selfishness, out of wisdom. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a woman named Grace. She's 43 years old. She has 2 teenage children, a demanding job, and a marriage that sometimes feels more like a to-do list than a partnership. For years, Grace woke up to chaos. Her alarm would ring, and within seconds she was already stressed, checking emails, making breakfast, solving problems that weren't even fully formed yet. And every night, she would collapse into bed feeling like she had given everything, but somehow still wasn't enough. Then one day, Grace made a small decision. She set her alarm 30 minutes earlier. And in those 30 minutes, she didn't do anything productive. She didn't exercise or meal prep or catch up on work. She simply sat with herself. Some mornings, she would drink her tea by the window and watch the light come in. Other mornings, she would write a few thoughts in a simple notebook. Sometimes she would just breathe. And here's what happened. The world around her didn't change. Her job was still demanding. Her teenagers were still teenagers. But Grace changed. She stopped entering her day from a place of depletion. She started entering from a place of presence. And the people around her noticed, not because she announced it, but because her energy was different. Calmer, steadier, more grounded. This is the power of beginning your day before the world does. So what can you do? Start small. Even 10 minutes is enough. Wake up before everyone else, not to work, but to simply be. Sit somewhere quiet. Let the stillness settle into your bones. Ask yourself one simple question. What do I need today? And then listen. You don't need a fancy morning routine. You don't need meditation apps or journals with gold binding. You just need time. A little pocket of peace that belongs only to you. Because when you start your day from fullness instead of emptiness, everything else flows more gracefully. That's the first habit, and it's foundational. Build on it. Habit number 2, the habit of guarding your energy like it's sacred. Here's why this matters. Your energy is not unlimited. I know we're often told that we should be able to do everything, handle everything, be everything. But that's not how human beings work. That's not how women work. You have a certain amount of energy each day. And what you give it to, what you spend it on, determines how you feel, how you function, and how you show up. A queen knows this. She knows that not everyone deserves access to her. Not every conversation is worth having. Not every problem is hers to solve. This isn't cold. It's wise. Think of your energy like a garden. If you let anyone walk through it, trample the flowers, pull up the roots, leave their mess behind, eventually nothing will grow. But if you tend to your garden carefully, protect it from carelessness, and choose wisely who you allow in, it flourishes. Let me tell you about a woman named Diane. Diane was a giver. Everyone in her life knew they could count on her. Coworkers would dump their problems on her desk. Friends would call her at all hours to vent. Family members expected her to manage every crisis. And Diane always showed up because that's what good women do, right? But here's what no one saw. Every night, Diane would lie awake, her mind spinning. She was exhausted in a way that sleep couldn't fix. She felt drained, irritable, and strangely lonely, even though she was surrounded by people. One day, Diane had a realization. She wasn't tired because she was doing too much. She was tired because she was giving to the wrong things. So she started making changes. Small ones at first. She stopped answering calls that came at inappropriate hours. She stopped engaging with people who only knew how to take. She started asking herself before every commitment, does this fill me or drain me? And slowly her garden began to bloom again. Now let me be clear. Guarding your energy doesn't mean becoming closed off or cold. It doesn't mean rejecting everyone or building walls around your heart. It means being selective. It means understanding that your presence is a gift and not everyone has earned it. So here's what you can do. First, pay attention to how you feel after spending time with certain people. Do you feel lighter or heavier? Inspired or depleted? Your body knows. Your feelings know. Trust them. Second, practice saying no without long explanations. A simple, graceful no is enough. I won't be able to. That doesn't work for me. You don't owe everyone a dissertation on your decision. Third, create spaces in your life that are protected. Maybe it's your home, maybe it's your weekends, maybe it's your morning time. Whatever it is, let it be a sanctuary. Your energy is not a resource to be pillaged. It's a treasure to be honored. Protect it. Fiercely, gently. Intentionally, habit number 3, the habit of speaking with softness and power. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in the presence of a woman who didn't speak much, but when she did, everyone listened? There was something about her words. They carried weight. They landed. They mattered. That's not an accident. That's a skill. That's a habit. Here's why this matters. Your words create your world. The things you say shape how people perceive you. The things you say to yourself shape how you perceive you. And so many women have developed a habit of minimizing themselves through language. They apologize constantly. They over-explain. They shrink their statements with phrases like, "I'm probably wrong," or "This might be a stupid idea," but a queen speaks differently. Not loudly, not harshly, but with clarity, with intention, with a kind of quiet authority that says, "I know my worth." Let me tell you about Maria. Maria was brilliant at her job. She had years of experience and ideas that could genuinely help her team. But in meetings, she struggled to be heard. She would start her sentences with apologies. She would speak so quickly as if she didn't deserve to take up time. And then she noticed something. The people who were taken seriously, they didn't apologize for having opinions. They didn't rush through their words. They spoke calmly, clearly, and let their statements land. So Maria started practicing. She stopped starting sentences with "sorry." She paused before speaking, took a breath, and then said what she needed to say. She made eye contact. She spoke a little slower. And here's what happened. People started listening. Not because she was louder, but because she was more grounded. Her words carried more weight because she gave them weight first. Now here's something important. This isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's not about performing confidence. It's about honoring the wisdom that's already inside you by giving it a voice that matches. So here's what you can practice. First, eliminate the unnecessary apologies. Notice how often you say "sorry" when you've done nothing wrong. Replace it with "thank you" when appropriate. Instead of "sorry for taking your time," say "thank you for your patience." Second, pause before you speak. Just one breath. It gives your words gravity. It gives your listener time to focus on you. Third, speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you deeply respect. Because you are someone you should deeply respect. Your words are not just sounds. They're declarations. They're energy. They shape reality. Use them wisely. Use them beautifully. Habit number 4, the habit of moving through life with grace and intention. Here's something we don't talk about enough. How you move matters. Not because of how you look, not because of anyone watching, but because your body and your mind are connected in ways we often forget. When you rush through life, your mind rushes too. When you slam doors, stomp through rooms, and move with chaos, your inner world reflects that chaos. But when you move slowly, gently, with intention, something shifts inside you. You feel more centered, more present. More like the woman you want to become. A queen moves differently, not because she's trying to impress anyone, but because she respects herself enough to take up space gracefully. She understands that her body is not just a vehicle, it's a home. And she treats it like one. Let me tell you about a woman named Sylvia. Sylvia was always in a hurry. Even when there was no real rush, she moved like she was late for something, grabbing her bag, racing through errands, eating her meals standing up, barely tasting the food. And she noticed that no matter how much she accomplished, she never felt at peace. Something was always pulling at her, tugging at her attention. Then Sylvia went to visit her grandmother. Her grandmother was 84 years old. She lived alone in a small apartment, and she moved slowly, not because of age, but because of intention. When she poured tea, she poured it like it mattered. When she walked across the room, she didn't rush. When she sat, she actually sat. Sylvia found herself strangely calmed by being in her grandmother's presence. And she realized something profound. Her grandmother wasn't slow, she was present. She was here, fully here, in a way Sylvia had forgotten how to be. So Sylvia started practicing. She started walking a little slower, setting things down gently instead of tossing them aside, eating her meals at a table without her phone, actually tasting her food. And over time, something beautiful happened. Sylvia felt more peaceful. Not because her life got easier, but because she stopped living like she was running from something. So here's what you can do. First, notice how you move through your daily tasks. Are you rushing without reason? Are you slamming cupboards, racing through chores, collapsing into chairs? Second, practice doing ordinary things with intention. Fold your clothes like they matter. Walk like you're not in a hurry. Place things down gently. These tiny acts of care send a message to your nervous system: we are safe. We can slow down. Third, take care of your body with tenderness. Put on lotion like you love yourself. Dress in clothes that make you feel beautiful, not just comfortable, but honored. Move in ways that feel good. Your body carries you through every single day of your life. It deserves your gratitude. It deserves your gentleness. Move through life like you belong here, because you do. Habit number 5, the habit of honoring your boundaries without guilt. Now let's talk about something that so many women struggle with. Boundaries. Here's why this matters so much. Without boundaries, you have no edges. Without edges, you have no shape. Without shape, you lose yourself. Boundaries are not walls you build to keep people out. They're lines you draw to show where you end and where others begin. They're how you teach the world how to treat you. A queen understands boundaries deeply. She knows that saying yes to everything means saying no to herself. She knows that people pleasing is not kindness, it's self-abandonment in disguise. And yet, I know this is hard, especially if you were raised to believe that the good women don't make waves, that nice women don't say no, that your worth is measured by how much you can sacrifice. Those messages go deep. They become part of how you see yourself. And letting go of them is a journey, not a single decision. Let me tell you about a woman named Joanna. Joanna was 52 years old. She had spent her entire adult life putting others first. Her children, her husband, her aging parents, her boss, her neighbors. And for decades, she believed that this was what made her good. But over time, Joanna started feeling something she didn't expect. Resentment. She would agree to things she didn't want to do and then feel bitter about it. She would give and then feel hurt when people didn't appreciate her sacrifices. One day, her daughter said something that stayed with her. "Mom, why do you always say yes to things and then complain about them? You know you can just say no, right?" It was so simple, and yet it landed on Joanna like a thunderbolt. She had never really considered that no was an option, that her own desires mattered, that she was allowed to disappoint people sometimes. So Joanna started practicing. The first time she said no to something, it was terrifying. Her heart raced. She half expected the world to collapse. But it didn't. The person she said no to was fine. Life went on. And Joanna started to understand something. Saying no is not rejection. It's honesty. It's self-respect. It's a gift to everyone, including the people you're saying no to. Because when you say yes and mean no, you bring resentment into the relationship. But when you say no honestly, you create space for real connection. So here's what you can practice. First, start with small boundaries. You don't have to revolutionize your life overnight. Just notice moments when you want to say no, but you say yes instead. Ask yourself why. Start there. Second, give yourself permission to disappoint people sometimes. This is not cruelty. This is humanity. You cannot possibly meet everyone's needs, and trying to do so will destroy you. Third, remember this truth now is a complete sentence. You don't always need to explain, justify, or apologize. Sometimes, "I'm not available for that," is enough. Your boundaries are sacred. They are the edges of your garden. Without them, anyone can walk through and take whatever they want. Draw the lines, beautiful woman, and don't apologize for it. Habit number 6. The habit of treating yourself like someone who matters. Here's something I want you to sit with. How do you treat yourself? Not how you treat others. I already know you're generous with others. But how do you treat you? Because so many women treat themselves like afterthoughts. They wear the worn-out clothes while their children have nice things. They eat the leftovers standing over the sink. They speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to a friend. And this is a problem. Not because you're supposed to be selfish, but because how you treat yourself sets the standard for how you allow others to treat you. A queen treats herself like someone who matters, not in an arrogant way, not in a look at me way, but in a quiet, dignified, honoring way. She understands that self-respect is not something you earn, it's something you practice every day in small ways. In the choices you make about how you eat, how you rest, how you dress, how you spend your time. Let me tell you about Ruth. Ruth was a devoted mother. She had given 25 years of her life to raising her children. And she was proud of that. She wouldn't change it. But one day, her youngest child left for college. And Ruth looked around her house, at the worn-out robe she'd had for a decade, at the meals she'd skipped to feed everyone else first, at the dreams she'd quietly put on a shelf, and she felt an ache. She had forgotten how to take care of herself. Not because she didn't matter, but because she had gotten so used to putting everyone else first that she forgot she was also someone. So Ruth made a decision. She bought herself new pajamas, not expensive ones, just soft, beautiful ones that made her feel good. She started eating breakfast at a table, not on the run. She signed up for a pottery class, something she'd wanted to do for years but never had time for. And slowly, something began to shift. Ruth started feeling like a person again, not just a mom, not just a wife, but a woman with desires, interests, and a life of her own. And here's what surprised her most. Her family responded positively, not because they needed less from her, but because they loved seeing her happy. They were inspired by her renewal. So here's what you can do. First, notice the small ways you deprive yourself. Do you buy yourself nice things, or do you always put that off? Do you rest when you're tired, or push through until you collapse? Do you eat sitting down or standing up over the kitchen counter? Second, do one thing each day that is just for you. Not for your family, not for your job, just for you. Read a chapter of a book, take a walk, drink your tea slowly, light a candle, whatever fills you up. Third, speak to yourself with kindness. Catch the harsh inner voice. Replace, I'm so stupid, with I'm learning. Replace, I look terrible, with I'm doing my best. Speak to yourself like you would speak to your daughter, your friend, someone you love. You are someone you live with every single moment of your life. You might as well be kind to her. Habit number 7, the habit of choosing presence over perfection. Now let me share the 7th habit. And this one is perhaps the most important of all. So many women live in a state of becoming. I'll be happy when I lose weight. I'll feel confident when I get promoted. I'll relax when the kids are older. I'll love myself when. And the problem is that moment never comes, because there's always something else. Always another goal, another milestone, another condition you've placed on your own peace. A queen chooses presence over perfection. She doesn't wait until everything is perfect to enjoy her life. She doesn't postpone her peace until all the boxes are checked. She lives now. She breathes now. She allows herself to be enough right here, right now, even while she's still growing. This is not about giving up on your goals. It's about refusing to put your life on hold while you chase them. Let me tell you about a woman named Helen. Helen was a perfectionist. She had lists for everything. Goals, plan systems. She was always striving, always reaching, always trying to improve. And in many ways, this served her well. She built a successful career. She raised wonderful children. She was accomplished by every measure. But one day, Helen's doctor gave her some news she didn't expect. A health scare. Nothing fatal, thank goodness, but serious enough to stop her in her tracks. And in that moment of uncertainty, Helen had a realization. She had spent so much of her life planning for the future that she had forgotten to live in the present. She was always getting ready to be happy instead of just being happy. She was always working toward feeling good, instead of letting herself feel good now. So Helen made a shift. She started practicing what she called enough. Instead of waking up and immediately thinking about what needed to be done, she would sit for a moment and say, I am enough. This moment is enough. My life, as it is right now, is enough. And slowly, something softened inside her. She still had goals. She still worked hard. But she stopped waiting for permission to enjoy her life. She stopped living in when and started living in now. Here's what you can practice. First, catch yourself whenever you start a sentence with, I'll be happy when. Ask yourself, can I find something to be happy about right now? Second, practice gratitude for who you are, not just what you have or what you've done. I'm grateful for my house, but I'm grateful for my patience, or I'm grateful for my courage. Third, put down the measuring stick. You don't have to compare yourself to who you were 10 years ago or who you want to be 10 years from now. You are exactly where you're supposed to be on this journey. Presence is the greatest gift you can give yourself, because the present moment is the only moment you actually have. Don't miss it while you're waiting for something better. Now let me offer you something to consider. Many of us were raised with certain beliefs about what it means to be a good woman. We were told that good women sacrifice everything. That asking for what you need is selfish. That taking care of yourself means you're not taking care of others. But here's what I want you to know. Those beliefs were never true. They were convenient for other people, but they were never true for you. A woman who honors herself is not selfish. She's sustainable. A woman who rests is not lazy, she's wise. A woman who says no is not difficult, she's honest. The old story says you have to earn your worth. The new story says your worth was never in question. The old story says you have to be perfect to be loved. The new story says you are already lovable, just as you are. The old story says queens are born into castles. The new story says queens are made in ordinary kitchens, living rooms, and offices, wherever a woman decides to rise. So let go of what you were taught if it no longer serves you. You are allowed to write a new story. You are allowed to become someone you've never been before, not someone harder, but someone softer. Not someone louder, but someone more peaceful. Not someone different, but someone more deeply yourself. That's what activating your inner queen truly means. It's not about performing royalty. It's about remembering who you already are. Let me recap what we've explored together today. We talked about 7 feminine habits that activate your inner queen. 1, begin your day before the world does. Claim your morning. Fill your own cup first. 2, guard your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Be wise about what and who you allow in. 3, speak with softness and power. Your words create your world. Use them with intention. 4, move through life with grace and intention. Slow down. Be present in your body. 5, honor your boundaries without guilt. Saying no is not rejection. It's self-respect. 6, treat yourself like someone who matters. Because you are. You deserve your own care. 7, choose presence over perfection. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to enjoy your life. This is your moment. These are not big, dramatic changes. They're small, daily habits. But practice consistently, they will transform you from the inside out. And here's what I want to leave you with. You are not too old for this. You are not too tired for this. You are not too broken, too busy, or too far gone for this. It doesn't matter if you're 30 or 40 or 50. It doesn't matter if you're single or married or starting over. It doesn't matter if you've made mistakes, lost yourself, or spent years putting everyone else first. Today is a new day. And the woman you're becoming is already stirring inside you. She's been waiting for you to slow down, to notice her, to make space for her. She's your inner queen, and she's ready to rise, not with loudness, not with harshness, but with quiet, steady, unshakable